This is your boy Is Nefarious, and I am here for our Week 2 League Report, and I got my first special guest of the season. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the boys.
What's up, guys? It's Mally Rojo, Atlanta Falcons user in PML.
And everybody knows you. You do a lot of content, do a lot of stuff like that, and contribute to the league a lot, and which we really enjoy. Um, so on today's episode, I already discussed with you, but I'm discussing with everybody. We're gonna ask Rojo his top 5 users to ever play in PML since he's been in it. And then we're gonna dive into the top 50, 50 through 45, and then we'll go ahead and finish up with some exciting news coming out of Atlanta. Don't give anybody anything, but you think they're gonna enjoy it?
Oh yeah, I think so. I think it might shake up the league a little bit.
Oh yeah, they're gonna enjoy that news. All right, so let's start with your top 5 users. Go through from 5 to 1 to ever play in PML. I'm actually gonna do this every week, and I'll probably keep a list, and then we'll see who got the most votes as number 1. And the number 1 is probably gonna be the most irritable in the chat right now. But I love getting under his skin. So go ahead and give me your top 5. We'll start with 5.
Putting me on the spot a little bit. I didn't think about it too much, but I would say, just kind of scrolling through the list, I would say Cowboys would be my number 5.
Yeah, Cowboys is a good choice. Cowboys is one. That's one of the guys in the league that knows a lot about the game, knows how to play the game. Of course, has one Super Bowl win, and he's a very good user defensively, and he has a good offense, but it's kind of like not as flashy as most offenses, so it doesn't really get as much love. But yeah, that's a good that's a good choice there. What would you be in number 4?
My number 4, I think I'd say Finn, the Chiefs, which I know that he's not active right now, but me and him have played a few times. He usually, we were playing in the preseason because it was the same preseason schedule every year. He was
Yep.
always getting the better of me in the preseason. I did get him once in the regular season, but other than that, he pretty much had my number.
Yeah, Finn's a good user as well. Good, one of the best users on defense from what people told me. I mean, even when I played him, he was in another realm when it came to usering on defense. He was able to cover a lot of ground. His defense was top notch. His offense, I mean, he had a strong offense, but it could have been just because he was the Chiefs. From what I've heard from other people that played him regularly or watched him regularly, his offense was kind of lackluster. Not a top type of guy offensively, but his defense, on the other hand, was top tier.
Definitely.
Who would be your number 3?
On number 3, I think I'd take the Seahawks. I have trouble with the Seahawks. He's pretty good at running the ball, and that's kind of one thing I struggle with from time to time. He's pretty good at it. I think I played him twice and lost both times. So
Yeah, he, like you said, it's a very strong running game. Seahawks. He's got a pretty good defense as well. Kind of underrated because again he's not the flashy type. Even though that one season he did have like 25 plus interceptions with Griffin at one point, but that one season where he wasn't really playing kind of hurts him because you know of him, but that one season you're like he kind of tanks. So but strong running game, pretty good defense. He also has the one Super Bowl from season 1, so that's to his name. Who would be a number 2?
my number 2, I'd say the Bucks. I play him a lot. He's in my division. He's pretty much had my number every single time. I beat him once by 1 point, but it was when he already clinched playoffs and he was playing his second stringer. So So take
Yeah,
that with a grain of salt. And he's
yeah,
always been a tough matchup.
yeah. He is. He's my favorite coach in the league. Like the way he plays, the way he knows how, the way he checks down, reads the field, all that. Like the one time I played him, it's like he checked into the right play every time. It was kind of ridiculous. I was like, what the hell is going on? Um, Once he reads you, he knows where to go, and he's pretty tough to stop offensively. And he also has a great defense on the other side. But yeah, one of my favorite coaches, very good coach 'em up type of user. Um, who would be your number one?
My number one, rest in peace, no longer with us, Skyrider, ex Steelers user.
I think Skyrider is
No,
going to
no.
be the number one in a lot of these videos, especially with the
I
Vikings.
figured that's who you were talking about when you said
He's the
number
goat. He's
one. He's
the
gonna be
legend.
across the board.
The legend.
No, in all honesty, it's the natural. He just dotted me up in the preseason, 70-0. So I got to give it to him, number one, of course.
Yep, the top offense. God forbid I say I had a little success against his offense in the first half. Because when the score was close, I said that the defense was pretty successful, and then here it comes about running up the score. Well, if you run up the score, I'm gonna quit playing defense after you're up 3 scores, so it doesn't really matter if you run up the score. But we'll get to that another time. I love shit talking them. I get under his skin real quick. Um, but yeah, he's gonna be the overall number one. He's got 2 Super Bowls. He's been to every Super Bowl, and he's in the stronger conference. Basically, based on I think what a lot of people think, the AFC is a little stronger, especially his division, specifically with the Browns, the Bengals. Um, but yeah, the natural is probably number one across the board for everybody. 2 Super Bowls, best offense, one of the best defenses. Great user, really knows how to play the game, knows all the ins and outs of the game, so he's tough to beat. Let's go ahead and jump into the top 50 now. So
Let's
everybody's
do it.
been waiting
Yeah.
for the top 50. So basically, I'm gonna give you 50 through 45, and as I give you the name, you go ahead and give me your opinion on them. So we're gonna start with number 50. Number 50 come the really low-key guy I think last year, but put up great numbers was the wide receiver out of Tampa Bay, Chico McClider at number 50. How do you did you do a little homework on him? How do you feel about him?
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, Bucks is in my division, so I've played against him a few times, and I know that he had a one really good game against me. I think he had like 4 receptions for like 100 yards and a touchdown. Um, the Bucks, he has so many good wide receivers. He's got Evans and McClatcher kind of came in as like a surprise standout amongst all those already star wide receivers with Godwin and Mike Evans, and he gets you with those. He starts getting you with those crossing patterns and those ins and outs with Mike Evans and dotting you up, and then you kind of play it in a little bit, and then he hits you over the top with that deep threat with McClatcher, and he's got some good catching stats and good spec catch, and he can bring down those deep balls. He's got really good route running, especially when it comes to medium and deep route.
Yeah, an undersized guy, only 5'8", doesn't have crazy speed. He has decent speed. I think it's a 91 rating. Yeah, 91 rating. I mean, he has good route running, good catching ability. 91 overall this season. Must have got a lot of um, tributes from last season. Performed really well. 50 receptions for over 1,000 yards. So pretty good season with 9 touchdowns. That was actually his second season. The first season he only had 517 yards. So he really opened him up in 2021 in his sophomore year.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think that's definitely a credit to his coaching because I didn't even realize he's only 5'8". But like I said, when you're trying to play Godwin and Mike Evans and he's moving the defense forward a little bit with his good running game and those in routes he's doing with those guys, brings you in a little bit and then he catches you over the top with McClatcher right up wide open. So
Yeah, he definitely catches you sleeping, and that's another thing, like we talked about, his ability to coach him up and find the holes in the zone and everything. He does a great job with that. That's one of the reasons that guys like McClatcher and guys like Godwin who don't have crazy speed are able to get their own because he's just able to coach them up real good. Coming in at number 49 over in Dallas, the quarterback Dak Prescott. So how do you feel about Dak Prescott as a quarterback? I don't know if you have firsthand experience against him. I think I played against Cowboys once, and that was in season one when I was rolling with the Lions. So I really don't have recent experience against Dak at all.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty well rounded. I think I've only played Cowboys once as well, but he's just really well rounded all around. He can run the ball. Um, he'll get mobile with Dak a little bit just to kind of open up the field. That's what he was getting me with. Dak was getting mobile and he was getting away from my guys, and I was doing pretty good at coverage at first, but once he got out of the pocket, he started getting guys open. He started dotting me up. I was pretty close with him in like the first 2 quarters, and then after that, he just started going wild on me, and I ended up losing that game by like 20 points. So yeah, he's definitely good.
Yeah, like we were talking about in the top five users, underrated offense. Pretty good year last year, just shy of 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, 55 completion percentage, and almost an 85 QBR. So that's pretty good in PML standards, especially with the touchdown to interception ratio with all the good users. So yeah, it's no figure that Dak Prescott's within the top 50. I think last year he was ranked even higher than he is. The year before in 2019, I think he was ranked even higher than he is now. But one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Coming in at 48, we got the running back over in Los Angeles, Key's favorite, Todd Gurley.
So Gurley's a beast, man.
Yeah, Todd Gurley. Yeah, he's a beast. I don't know if you faced Rams firsthand. I played Rams last season or the season before. Kind of when Todd Gurley wasn't, he wasn't focusing on the run, and I kind of, took advantage of him because he was throwing too much, threw a few picks to me. Um, but I don't know if you played Key a lot with Todd Gurley.
Well, I just played him week one, and let's just say Todd Gurley had 34 rushes for like 190 yards and a couple touchdowns. So he definitely he was running the ball a lot against me, and he was having success with it. I mean, my guys were getting in the backfield and hitting him in the backfield, but the first tackle never took him down. He was breaking through those tackles, and then right after that, it was wide open after that. So I was getting kind of frustrated that game because it seemed like every time I was getting him in the backfield, he would break a tackle and then he'd be gone. He had like two pretty, probably 40+ yard runs on me that happened just like that. Either he spun out of a guy or just trucked a dude and and then was off to the races.
Yeah, he's definitely a beast. One guy that you don't even have to like. You could just run into a guy and just his stats and his abilities will break a tackle for you without you even trying. Last year, he almost had 1,000 yards. I believe he got injured. He had under 200 yards, 200 carries. So that's a big thing. Yeah, he had 174 for 885 yards. He averaged 5 yards a carry and had 10 touchdowns. So when he did use him, he was successful. He's also successful out of the backfield. That's a good thing about Todd Gurley. Had 26 receptions for 141 yards, 5 yards per catch. You want to see that a little higher, but he could hurt you either way. And like you said, it doesn't matter if you get a guy back there. It's kind of you got to gang tackle him, or he's gonna break through. So he's definitely, no doubt, a top 50 guy in the league, especially when Key decides to use him and use him to his advantage. The key for him though is pretty much staying healthy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think he would have been a lot higher on this list if he was healthy all year last year.
Yeah, exactly. He would definitely have been over 1,000 yards, and it depends on how much he uses them as well. Coming in at number 47, it's going to be a defensive back out of Cleveland. It's going to be Chris Boyd, who's in his third year. Uber athletic cornerback. Kind of low on the acceleration and agility, but 95 speed. One of those cornerbacks to really stop the deep game, because a lot of PML is deep passing oriented and all that. So, how do you feel about Chris Boyd? I don't know if you did a little homework on him.
You know what? All I really looked into was his stats, because I've never actually played the Browns yet. I'm playing them this season, so
Yep.
I'll find out here shortly. But as of now, I haven't played him yet, so I haven't really experienced Chris Boyd
Yeah. So
firsthand.
So pretty much, I'm the only one that's pretty much had him firsthand. I mean, the Browns has a good defense. I don't remember paying attention to Chris Boyd specifically, but you take a look at him. I mean, he's got good size, great speed. The acceleration and agility kind of hurt him a little bit. The big thing that got him on the list was a little bit of stats based. He had 17 pass deflections, which was tops in the league. So you could see guys were trying to go at him, but with his speed and his catch up ability, a lot of guys weren't able to beat him. He has good man coverage, great zone coverage. When you got Denzel Ward, that kind of helps too on the other side. Denzel Ward is one of the better cornerbacks in the league, and then Chris Boyd's on the other side. So he's got a good little set of one-two punch when it comes to that cornerback situation. But yeah, great size, great speed. That's basically what got him on the list, along with his ability to deflect passes, because they tried to pick on him a lot and stay away from Denzel Ward. Coming in at 46, kind of surprised based on how high he is. I think he would be a little lower. But we're going over to the Naturals team, and it's going to be Matthew Judon, the linebacker. Um, right now he's injured, but Judon, he has Judon, he has C.J. Mosley, and he's got Tim Williams, all great linebackers over there in Baltimore. I don't know if you've played Baltimore firsthand, but when you do, you experience those linebackers and just how good they are.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, I play him in preseason every season, and then I'll play him in the regular season this year. But just in preseason alone, I've kind of experienced that. He gets to the quarterback quick, but his coverage is also really good too. He can take the guy back and have really good coverage. But one of those guys is going to get to you. You don't got much time.
Yeah, and he runs that 3-4, and he's coming out of the left outside linebacker slot, which is basically more known to kind of do double, be more versatile. They either rushing or they're dropping into coverage. They kind of got to be able to do both. And Judon's got great ability as far as rushing the passer with his power moves. He's got a 98 power move. I mean, then you take a look at his zone coverage. He's got 82 zone coverage, so you could basically do a lot with Matthew Judon. I mean, he's not the fastest, but he's got plenty of ability as far as the power moves, the zone coverage, the pursuit. He's a complete linebacker, especially at that left outside linebacker slot. I don't know when he got injured. I don't think he played in our game, but I was pretty sure that he got a couple sacks against me, but he has no stats for 2022. So I guess I'm thinking about Tim
Yeah,
Williams, not.
I think he got hurt in preseason.
Ah, okay, yeah. Then I'm probably thinking about Tim Williams, who was able to get to me a couple times. But last season he had 15 sacks, which is good for somebody that's kind of doing both. 12 tackles for loss. 57 tackles. He's good for 50 plus tackles, 10 plus tackles for loss, and 10 plus sacks at least. He also had an interception, so pretty much a guy that does it all. and it's easier to see why he's on that list. So just to review the list, we got Chico McLaren at number 50, Dak Prescott at number 49, Todd Gurley at number 48, Chris Boyd at number 47, and then Matthew Judon at number 46. So all those guys are actually going to get a +1 rating based on the new top 50 rules. So if you end up with a guy in the top 50, he's going to get a +1. But that's going to do it for the top 50. I understand, I know you don't have much time, but I understand that you had some big news to shake up the PML a little bit.
Yeah, this morning I just got news that a trade that's been in the works finally got approved today.
Oh man, what kind of trade? I saw that quarterback talk, so I'm trying to figure out what kind of trade.
Yeah, it looks like Baker Mayfield from the Browns is going to be joining the Falcons and helping us out at quarterback. And in return, we're going to send. Unfortunately, I had to send Deion Jones over there, which I really like him, but I felt like I needed the quarterback. I felt like I couldn't. I don't have a good enough user to use Jones to his full potential. I had already he started off with a superstar dev, and he's already dropped down to a quick dev. So um, I got some other guys that I like that I can move around, move to the middle linebacker position. I got Quarterman and a couple other guys that I just picked up in the rookie draft that I think can step in and fill those holes, and then Baker can give us what we need at quarterback. Been having some struggles with Costello the first 2 weeks. My offense has been pretty horrid.
Yeah, I saw it. That's a crazy trade. Um, Browns finally gets his wish of trading Baker. So was it a 1-for-1 trade with Deion Jones straight up for Baker Mayfield?
No, I had to throw in a lineman. I had to throw in one of my linemen, Bobby Evans, to get the trade even. We actually had multiple versions of the trade. The first trade that we sent through that we tried to get approved was I was going to send Desmond Trufant. I was going to send with Desmond Trufant. I was also going to send Devontae Parker, and then I was also going to send my lineman Bobby Evans. But that one got denied. That one didn't pass the calculator. Passed realism, but didn't pass the calculator, and then it lost the tiebreaker. So we had to restructure that, and we ended up going with Deion Jones and Bobby Evans, the lineman, to get it done. That gave us a fair trade there on the calculator, at least.
Yeah, that's actually that's a good thing PML wise. That the second trade went through and not the first, just based on how important the linebacker position is and the quarterback position. I mean, they kind of go hand in hand a bit. Your linebacker on defense is your quarterback, and then your quarterback on offense is quarterback. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So you traded your best linebacker, one of the best linebackers in the game, for one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and you had to throw in a little extra because I do think a quarterback has a little more value. Bobby Evans is not a bad offensive lineman by any means. I mean, he's got pretty good stats here, good pass blocking. I mean, he's definitely going to fit in for the Browns. I want to take a look at the Browns offensive line real quick. Yeah, the Browns offensive line definitely could use him, especially at the right tackle slot. Doesn't have anybody really there. And then when it comes to his middle linebacker, I mean, his best linebacker is Mark Jackson Jr., which he does well with, but with Deion Jones, it's going to really help. So I think it's one of the best win-win trades to come through. I mean, the Browns are getting what they need in a linebacker and a offensive lineman, and they already have their other quarterback per se, and you're getting that quarterback you need to step up your game as well. And I did take a look at your linebackers, and I kind of see who you're leading towards. Probably, somebody like Micah Parsons, the 6'4", 250 linebacker that has great speed and acceleration. Not the greatest agility, but he seems like he could be a playmaker in the middle for you, along with
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like him, and We got Martinez that we picked up from the Patriots, so you know that, and he can play the run really well. So we got him in those situations. I mean, Duke Riley's not a bad option either if I need it.
No.
He's got some speed, and he can also he's got decent block shedding, so he can still play the run game a little bit and play the ball with that speed.
Yeah, like I think they're. I mean, it's gonna be a hit not having Deion Jones, but I think you'll be okay. Having Baker Mayfield on offense, I mean, it's gonna be a whole new world for you. Congratulations on the trade. We'll see how Baker does in his final season of PML. It should be a fun season for you from here on out, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it should. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Hopefully, I can do him justice. My offense has been struggling, so I'm hoping this will change things up. Um, I mean, my defense has been okay. I've been struggling against the run, but man, Costello, he's been giving up the ball. I mean, a lot of it's my fault. I've been throwing a lot of interceptions. A lot of those interceptions are my fault, but I mean, every time the dude gets touched, he fumbles the football. When I played the Rams, I just could never get ahead because he fumbled the football 3 times and lost it every time. And I think a couple of them he took him to the house for a touchdown. And it's
Yeah,
hard to dig yourself out of
yeah.
that hole and play good defense when they're always got good field position. So I'm hoping a change in quarterback. I'm hoping Baker can hold on to the ball better, throw under pressure better. Costello struggles with that a lot. Get pressure in there at all, and he just throws it at the dirt. So
Yeah, I kind of had the same experience with Shea Patterson a couple years back. Every time he got touched, it was a sack fumble. I'm like, you can't play like that. You need somebody that could hold on to the ball because sacks are gonna happen. Um, and you can't play like that. So Baker should be a huge upgrade for you. Can't wait to see your offense with him at the helm, especially with the weapons you already have in Calvin Ridley, Devontae Parker, guys like that. TJ Ramming, so he's gonna have plenty of offensive weapons to go to. It's gonna be awesome to see these two guys in new places, Deion Jones and Baker Mayfield. Can't wait to see the next game that comes up after the trade has been completed.
yeah, for sure, for sure. We got
Uh,
to play too, so it's going to be a Baker Jones matchup later on. So
oh,
that'll be fun.
yeah, it's gonna be a reunion game. Everybody's gonna have to watch that game. That one's gonna be fun. But that's pretty much
Revenge
gonna.
game for Baker.
Yeah. Hopefully Baker throws for 300 plus just to shove it in Bacon's face. Um, but that's pretty much going to do it for this edition of the League Report. I know you got to get back to work. Um, but it's been a pleasure having you on. Hopefully later on in the season you can hop on again. I don't see many people wanting to hop on based on the lack of interest in Madden 19 anymore. But thank you for coming on, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, anytime, man. Thanks for having me. Have a good one.
You too. Later.